Gravel Worlds is one of the OG gravel events, going back to 2010 when riders navigated via cue cards and proved that they did the whole distance by purchasing lotto tickets at local small stores. Fast forward to 2024 and the Lincoln, Nebraska event is bigger and better than ever, with 4 ride distances and now 2 run distances. The events range in size from the beginner-friendly 30-mile distance to the most popular 75-mile routes, the pro 150-mile edition where there is $30,000 in cash money on tap. And then for the truly bold, there is the Long Voyage, 300 miles plus, all through the night and into the next day. I'm out here today riding with a great crew from Lincoln, including 12-year-old Greer Pede, Greer's dad Shane, Claire Reinert, who's done every edition of the 300-mile Long Voyage, and the race director himself, Jason Strobin. In this video, we'll tell you everything you need to know about race weekend, the courses, the surfaces, the tire selection, where to eat, and locals' insider tips.
Our main event is 150-ish miles. We always put those bonus miles in as promoters. You know how we roll. So it'll be about 153, 154 miles, almost 100% on gravel roads on all of our courses. So we're gonna start and end on gravel this year at our new venue, which we're really excited about. The 150-mile course has less than 2 miles of pavement. The rest is all beautiful rolling gravel hills and dirt roads around Lincoln, Nebraska. And we're bringing back the loop course, which if you're a fan of Gravel Worlds, you remember the loop courses, and it makes a giant loop around Lincoln, Nebraska. And for year 15 of Gravel Worlds, it's gonna be really close to the very first Gravel Worlds course. For those 120 people that were there, they'll remember the course and the things that they saw. So we're really excited for that. Our biggest event now is our 75-mile course, which will see a lot of the same things that the 150-mile does. It's gonna go northwest of town and then make its way back. So we're really excited of that. That 75-mile course is gonna have a little over 5,000 feet of elevation, so nice and hilly on that. The next, our design for beginners, is our 50K course, so about 31, 32, 33 miles, somewhere in there, with close to 2,000 feet of elevation. So it's still a really nice challenge. Again, almost all on gravel roads, and that is gonna go on roads that have never been on the 50K course before, which we're really excited about. And I think, we're pretty sure, we're gonna have a Casey's on the 50K course for the first time. So gravel cyclists like Casey's Pizza, so you're gonna have that on course. We're really excited for that. And then the Big Daddy, the Long Voyage 300, is a little over 300 miles.
Tire talk is always a thing, right? What tires you running, bro? What is your recommendation for riders for a width or a tread type for riding out here?
So right now I'm on the Challenge Getaways.
Yep.
And these are 45. I think 45 would probably be the max that you would really need around here.
Yes.
You can run a little bit narrower. I'd say ideal range is, probably a 38 to 45. Personally, for racing, I would probably go with something with like a center file tread and some knobby sides, just so you get good grip through the corners. Sure. But obviously, the gravel here is pretty smooth, so you still have something that can roll fast.
Yep. Like a Specialized Pathfinder or the Schwalbe G1 RS, something like this.
Yeah, those would be good too.
What happens if it rains? How do these roads deal with moisture?
They usually dry pretty quickly. Last year they had, I believe, like 3 or 4 inches of rain the night before the race, and it was, and it was, a bit muddy, but really that's as bad as it can get. August is typically a bit drier month of the year, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. Obviously, making that tire selection, you still want something that has a reasonable amount of clearance just in case.
Yeah. That's part of the fun of gravel. When you sign up for an adventure, you don't know exactly what type of adventure you're signing up for. Like it's just the nature of adventures.
We don't have a ton of MMR around here, or dirt roads.
Yes.
So usually you're going to be on a surface very similar to this. All right, let's talk about support or self-support or checkpoints, what happens at all those. That is a great thing we need to talk about, because we are still on old school gravel races. If you need it, you need to bring it with you at the start. And if it's something that we're not going to provide to you at our checkpoints, then you need to bring it with you, because it's a self-supported race, and that includes our 150, 75, and 50K. So there's no team vehicles at the checkpoint. There's no family out on course, anything like that. If you want to support your rider, you have to volunteer at our checkpoints and help every single rider that comes through. We do this because that's what gravel was in the year one of Gravel Worlds. If you needed it, you needed to bring it with you, unless you could get it at a gas station along the way. So whether you're in first place or last place, once you start on course, you have the same exact resources that every single person has. So our checkpoints will be stocked with tons of nutrition, water, and anything that you should need to get through to the next checkpoint. But if there's something that you particularly need, or you have a special hydration mix that you need to have, you need to bring that with you.
Claire, you've done all 3 of the 300+ mile events?
Long Voyage, all 3 years. If you've never done an overnight event, it's really, really special. And also Gravel Worlds, and just being, at this point, the only female that's ever started and finished every single one.
Yes.
There's something really powerful about being able to represent that group and show people what's possible. Everyone's version of hard is different, but pedaling a bike and testing yourself and seeing what you face out there, it's something different every time. So.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about gravel. It could be a 30-mile thing. For many people, that could be the longest distance they've ever gone.
Correct.
And that's huge.
Everyone's
For somebody
hard.
like yourself who's done bigger and bigger things, you're like, that's one more 300-mile thing. But still, it could be weather or cramps or
mud,
who knows what.
Breaking a chain, having a flat. It's having animals on the side of the road. It's different every single time. But seeing the sun come up and getting to just weather storms literally and figuratively is special.
Yes. For someone who's considering it, who's perhaps, endurance gravel curious or ultra endurance gravel curious, what do you say to perhaps tip them over? Tip them over.
Get good lights, practice nutrition, and try and overnight yourself on very safe roads that you know that you will have stops on consistently. You can get saved, but just try it. Pedal slow and ride through the night and see what that feeling is when you wake up and the energy you get. And it's not for everybody. It's not. But for me, it's special.
It starts 5 p.m. It starts in the evening, Friday.
Yep.
How long are you with a group typically, and then how much of the time are you by yourself, if at all?
Typically, I'm by myself the whole time, for like better or worse. I ride differently, especially on this kind of terrain. I attack the bottom of the hill, and then I don't charge hills. That wears me out more than charging at the bottom or on flats. So I can't really ride with other people, and it keeps me in check. It keeps me more in tune with my own body. So most of the time, it's me by myself.
Any special secrets for what goes in here or what goes in here?
You will find an assortment of opened blocks that are left over from yesterday.
Yeah, you just got random detritus. You got the beer ticket. You got your Dynaplug pill.
Yep. We've got our more of this.
Multi-tool stabbing one of these blocks.
Yep. But
it's a little smorgasbord in there.
Easy, like things that are easy access and things that you are used to and practiced with. I tried high carb bottles for a while, and that real food is a lot better for me, especially on really long stuff. So yesterday I subsisted off of mostly blocks on the long stuff. I'll get Nutter Butters and Pop-Tarts, our secret weapon.
All readily available at your local convenience store.
This is true.
For all the other distances, there are aid stations,
Yeah.
which the race provides. For the Long Voyage,
It is all self-supporting.
You're on your own,
so
sister.
you are on your own. You cannot have a support crew. You need to know what you want to get at the gas stations, and if you can't get it there, you're bringing it with you for the entire duration.
it goes back to your point about practicing. You can
Yes.
practice the lights, you can practice the snacks,
Yeah.
you can practice you know, the nighttime lack of sleep.
Yeah, and the lights that they're making nowadays are exceptional. Like the one that I have goes up to 8,000 lumens, which you can't run for 24 hours, like 12 hours, but I can run 2,000 lumens for about 12 hours, and that gives me a lot of brightness. People sometimes skimp on that because the battery's heavy.
Yes.
But being able to see gives you
Turns out.
pretty helpful.
Unless you're a Jedi who can just fly blind. Aero bars or no aero bars first?
So
you feel the ground move there?
I did.
What just happened?
It'll jump up and bite you, to be clear.
Shifting sands.
It's aero bars I ran the first year and the third year. The second year I didn't have enough practice with them to make them really worth it. I would say as long as you practice with them and you're comfortable with them, it gives you another hand position and just breaks it up a little bit. So overall, yes.
Overall, yes, but always with the squeaky duck.
I mean, Walter got me through a heck of a year last year, and he comes with me everywhere.
So he's grandfathered in, come hell or high water.
Yes, he is grandfathered in. And the amount of joy that he brings to people on the ride, and also he has
He's got a watermelon helmet on, for Pete's sake.
He has a watermelon helmet on.
Watermelon helmet, forgive me. Where are we and what will riders experience here?
We are at checkpoint 1. We are at one of the beautiful farms that we'll ride by, but this one we actually get a ride through, and we have what we're calling gravel cross.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Is that what Russ is doing here? Is mowing,
Yep,
mowing the course out for us?
Russ is mowing some of the hay over here, and we'll actually ride along the fence line all the way to the back of the property. There's an old corn crib that was built in the 1800s that we'll ride through. So you get to ride through a red barn when you come to Gravel Worlds, and this is on the 150 and the 75 course this year. So the 150 will recognize this from last year. We added it to the 75 this year.
Okay.
And then once you get done, it's about a half-mile gravel course section, and then we'll come back to the main buggy barn, is what they used to call it. And this is where all your nutrition, water, the neutral support. So like I said earlier, the pros all the way to last place have the exact same resources when they come to these checkpoints on course.
When you race, you use a Camelback or some type of hydration pack, or you just carry the
Camelback,
bottles? Yeah.
usually. Just because it's easier to like drink
Sure,
than
keep,
like having to reach down.
yeah, keep your hands on the bars. Now, do I understand correctly that you did an Everest on Zwift?
Yeah. Like last winter or something.
Yeah? Oh.
It was like 14 and a half hours.
Well, now that you've done it, you never have to do that again, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. So which distance will you do this year at Gravel Worlds? I'm assuming you're going to be racing it, right?
Yeah, the 75.
Nice. Nice. You just got third in the 50-miler at Unbound Gravel, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations. Nice
Thanks.
work. So I've been to gravel events all over the country and around the world, and very few actually start and finish on gravel. So that's a unique thing here. And very few have camping right at the start finish. We've got, what, 1,100 spots here for folks to choose from?
1,100 camping spots right at the start finish line.
There's a bike path just around the way, so if you're staying in downtown Lincoln, like at the Graduate, which is where I'm staying, lovely place, you can ride bike path all the way to the start. So lots of just super easy
It's super
options.
easy to bike around Lincoln. We have over 120 miles of trails in town.
Walk us through the last finishing circuit, as it were, here on the grounds.
Yes, we'll come off a gravel road and actually race through part of the campground, which is going to be really exciting. We'll have it taped off so it's nice and safe. But then, yeah, you're going to make a couple right-hand turns inside the grounds here and then directly into a grandstand finish. We have a 5,000 person grandstand that is covered, so you can enjoy shade there all day once you finish. It's inside a liquor fence, so you can enjoy alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages all day, nice and safe. And then we'll have live music at the finish line too.
One thing I love about gravel events is how it's not just the event itself that you're there for, but it can go the whole day, multiple days, on to the evening after the event, multiple days before it starts. Tell us about the first to last party.
All right, first to last is kind of the definition of Gravel Worlds. We've always celebrated, doesn't matter if you're peak of human performance or peak of human performance that's been out there for 16 hours, we're going to be out there celebrating you. So this year we're adding first to last party, maybe more commonly DFL, dead freaking last party. But once the sun goes down at 8 o'clock, we are bringing a DJ into the finish line. Everybody's going to be welcome into the finish line. So everybody who's been out there from sunrise to sunset and a little bit after, we're going to celebrate them. So from 8 o'clock to 10 p.m., we're going to have a party in the finish line, live DJ. We're looking for an industrial bubble machine if anybody has one, laser, smoke machine, whatever you need. We're going to be there to celebrate every single person that comes here to Gravel Worlds. And like you said, that's one thing that's really set gravel apart, is that culture of, it doesn't matter like what type of athlete you are an athlete and you deserve to be celebrated.
You've got a great quote that I think really encapsulates the spirit of gravel, if you would.
Oh,
And
man.
It's all, it really comes down to whether you're a person who's just getting on a bike for the very first time or someone who's been doing it for years and years. It's about you and your bike against the course and the elements, and that therein, the struggle between those, therein lies the challenge. However, for the expo, you do not have to battle the elements, thanks to this venue having a massive indoor space for the expo, so it'll be nice and cool and shaded.
All right, we are at Taverdes gas station in Valparaiso, and this is one of the first gas stations that was on the original Gravel Worlds course, where you had to get a lottery ticket to prove that you went to the gas station and came to the checkpoint, because we didn't have electric timing. So let's go get a lottery ticket. And popsicles.
All right. Flavor?
What flavor?
Is there the grape? See. All together?
Yeah.
So this morning I came out of the Graduate Lincoln and bumped into some locals who had some good looking bikes and ended up chatting with them about good spots to go as a cyclist to get your coffee in the morning, get some snacks after your ride. What is the Gravel Worlds course like?
Fast, in one word. Gravel Worlds is fast, but hilly. So momentum is key. Suffer through the peak of the climb and power of the top, and you'll have a good day.
Tire choice?
Narrow as gravel goes. So 35s are king at Gravel Worlds.
And what are you running here?
Too fat.
How many times have you done Worlds?
5, I think.
Okay.
I've ridden 5, volunteered 3.
Jen, when we're in town for Gravel Worlds, where should we go eat?
You should go to the Hub Cafe. Awesome local produce, cheeses, great menu. Also, Lead Belly's fantastic. They've got some great stuff on their menu. You know, gotta have coffee at the mill if you have a chance. That's a good spot too.
Tell me about your cat ears.
Oh, I made these yesterday.
Homemade cat ears.
Homemade cat ears, because
Okay.
we go on the trail, we try and talk, you can't hear anything. That wind noise is real. So I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna go buy some fur. They were great.
I'm going to show these to my friend Ruth Winder, who is all
Voyage.
about them.
Voyage run this morning. I just sewed on some Velcro and now we're good.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
If you get out here Wednesday night, come to the opening party up here on the rooftop, which, as the name implies, is the rooftop bar here in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska in the Haymarket District. The courses will be released about 2 weeks before race weekend, but you can sign up now and find more information at gravel-worlds.com. And yes, the UCI now has a Gravel World Championships, but the real Gravel Worlds has been going on since back in the day when gravel riding was a fun, adventurous challenge for anyone and everyone who wanted to show up to test themselves. And you know what? That's still how it is today. So come get in where you fit in with distances for all riders, August 23rd and 24th in Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right. Well, my tattoos though. It's like the only part of me
looks
that's
good.
cool.